subscribe.
Alright, hello and welcome back, dudes and dudettes, to Grounded Content Update. We're now going to cover patch notes. I know the camera's about up here. It's a little weird, so it looks like I'm looking at it. Ignore the nugs. Those are mine. So what we're going to do is cover the patch notes, as you can currently see right here. I have it right here. So new content being added, all subject to change in 0.08, because this is just a public test build, is new buildings, door frames. So this should create like an insane way. Like, used to we just had the doors, and I guess it was the frame and all. Sometimes it wouldn't fit where we wanted. I tore down a couple doors myself, so this should hopefully fix that. We also have now the new building's triangular stem wall and inverted triangular stem wall. It's kind of like the grass ones, pretty self-explanatory. You get a stem version now. We got new features, major features. Photo phase 1. So I'm guessing there's going to be more phases to this, so that way we can actually go through and maybe customize our photos or something. I've seen some of the cool things they put on Twitter. They got some insane looking photo build things. Like, there's some cool ones, like one where Max is like, whoa, and hitting a firefly. It's super cool. We got password protected games now, so when you're playing online, if you don't want someone to join, type in a password, tell the friends you want to join. This is how you do it. Additional features we have: when placing an invalid building, a short message will describe why it is invalid. That's a big deal because I know some of us get confused. Why isn't our base working the way it should? Like, really? So this should help. When you are holding a repair tool, nearby damaged buildings will display on an icon. I don't know about you guys, but I hate not knowing what buildings are broke. I can't tell you how many times I've stumbled across a random floor in my base or a random wall, and it's just a hurt. And I'm like, why? And is there more? And then I'll go through my base and I'll find just so many more. Another one, loose arrows can be collected by walking over them. This is huge because I know some people have complained first person, it's kind of weird to pick up arrows. Third person, it's weird to pick up arrows. You don't have to worry about that now. You walk over them, boom, in your inventory, done deal, no problems at all. Next, we have structures will collapse more dramatically when unsupported. I personally haven't had much of an issue. I have eliminated some, and you kind of see it just go pop, 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 and that doesn't really seem, I don't know. I guess they're making it seem more realistic. The next one we got is the Armor Dummy UI has a button that swaps your gear with the dummies. And also you do this without entering the UI by doing a hold to interact on the Armor Dummy. So essentially what that means is you're going to go through like how you eat food right now. You're going to hold the X button, you're going to hold the E button, whatever it is, whatever you're playing on, and it's going to swap your armor if you don't want to go in the armor's menu. Now if you do though, they're going to now have a button that swaps it for you. Awesome, because I can't tell you guys how many times I've felt inconvenienced by not being able to do it. Next one is when you are connecting zip lines, the anchor that will be connected is highlighted. I personally haven't messed with zip lines too much yet. Well, actually, if I'm going to be quite honest with you guys, at all. I've watched other people, so I'm guessing like if you got a zip line that you want to connect, say to the hedge one, it's going to show you if it's going to connect to that or if it's going to connect to like the oak tree. I know it's two extremely different places, but that's just an example. Player nameplates in the multiplayer will now show if a player is knocked out and how much time they have left. Don't know about you guys, I like to play in co-op with my friend Mur. It's always inconvenient when she's like, oh, how much time you got left? Where are you at, and all that stuff. Like, you can kind of see where they're at, but this should help out more. It will show them immediately that you're knocked out, and it will tell them how much time you have to them, because there's a little bit of lag between you, the host, or you, the person connecting to the host, and, you know, that good stuff. So this should kind of help get that person to know, hey, I gotta get there now. Player nameplates will now show a busy state when the said player is navigating a menu. So now you can tell, hey, said person's in a menu. I mean, I don't really see the effects of that. Like, it's kind of cool, gives a little bit more to it, but I don't really think we needed that per se. However, I am glad they did it because I can't tell you how many times I've asked her, hey, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm in my menu, or I'm doing this and that. So I'm assuming this will also apply to chest and stuff, but we'll have to see. Some new changes tuning systems. So, dirty water will now apply a status effect that shows your character is sick. The more dirty water you drink, the worse the effects get. Resting will make you feel better. So, in other words, you have to sleep in your bed or your lean-to recover that effect. I'm gonna guess it's gonna create like some kind of like damage over time effect. I haven't tested it yet. We're all gonna go through this together. It'll be a huge thing. I really want to test that first. I think I'll do a video first to cover that. It should be interesting. Alright, so Smoothie Functionality has been reworked. This is a huge deal for those of us that like smoothies. So all smoothies now require goop base. Now you have something to use that grub goop on, because I can't tell you guys, I have almost a full chest of it, and I'm like, what do I use it on? What's the point in farming grubs, aside from getting their skin? Now we have a reason. Goop base determines the effectiveness of the smoothie. So right here it says grub goop creates normal smoothie. Okay, you know, the regular smoothies we always get. But now muscle sprouts create a beefy smoothie that heals for twice the amount. So in other words, instead of saying smoothie plus or liquid rage plus, it's going to say beefy liquid rage. It's not too bad. You know, it gives you a little bit more description other than plus. Flavored ingredients can consist of any combination of other items that has the same functionality as before. So what they mean by that is like your hedge lord. You have to have all the ingredients that it used to have. It will still work. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, and it's not going to work now. No, liquid rage will still work the same. All that will still work the same. I do believe in here I read that if you're making like a smoothie question mark, what that's going to do is you have to use like, oh, I'm going to use 3 mushrooms, like how you guys see me do when you watch my streams and stuff, if you have. You're going to have to use all 3 of those. Kind of makes sense. I mean, now you can't just mix and match, I guess. Maybe. Mutations. Reduce the damage reduction of Daredevil. It is now not going to be, in my opinion, as overpowered as it was, because you could literally jump off the highest thing in the world and take the same amount of damage almost every time. Kind of sucks, but still. Other, we have combat. More intense combat music will play when fighting spiders. That's kind of cool, because, or as I found in a recent stream with the arachnophobia thing, it's kind of funny. They look like little olives. So, more intense music when you're fighting those olives. Infected weevils now move slightly faster. I don't know how I feel about that yet, because them little dudes always sneak up on me. So we'll see. I don't know if I like that, but we'll find out. Ladybugs now have a new set of attacks to pick from. So in other words, the normal repetitive moveset we've seen seems like now they get to choose out of a new set of attacks too what they're going to do. So be aware, ladybugs are going to have some new attacks. If you're already used to blocking them or parrying them, you might want to watch out. Now, I definitely recommend testing them and fighting them a little bit, get yourself familiar with them. This is something I mentioned on my stream earlier here on 3/24/2021. Improved accuracy of aiming with a bow using the third-person camera. So they just released this, so hopefully this is supposed to correct it and make the third-person bow shooting a little bit more user-friendly as well as more accurate. That's a huge thing for, I know, a lot of you players. I've started using third-person myself, so this is huge. Another one we've got here is interface. Players' nameplates will now transition to smaller character icons when not in the center of the screen. So, like, I'm guessing by that I mean, like, let's say I'm at my base and Mur decides to go all the way to the hedge on my right. Well, her name thing is going to get smaller on my right side, but I could still tell, hey, she's over that direction. It's kind of cool. The Interact HUD has been revamped to support showing multiple interaction types at the same time. So I guess it's going to show you doing multiple things. I'm not exactly sure how to explain that one yet. I will find out and I'll give you guys more of an update, I swear. I haven't tested it yet myself. I wanted to go over this with you guys. World, big sap nodules now take longer to respawn than individual saps. So those giant, just collections of sap, they're going to take longer to respawn than your little teeny guys that you had. They don't spawn at the same time now. Bass music now starts playing during the daytime, and a new track has been added specifically for night bass music. So in other words, what that means is you're going to have a specific track of music for the day, and now you're going to have a completely different music thing for the night. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit of a quality of life improvement. It's kind of nice. Buildings. Structures will be less likely to be considered obstructed when placed underneath static props like leaves. So if you're like me and you have like this little not tower, but runway towards the oak tree over the logs, there's that leaf in the way. Well, now you can kind of build under that, which is kind of cool. Walls will now often pivot around corners when they are snapped to when rotated. So in other words, the walls should fit up more. They should be a little bit more meshed together and be easier. I kind of like that. Added the facing helper arrow to the acorn storage. I'm not exactly sure what that means quite yet. I apologize. Like I said, I haven't tested this yet. I'm just kind of like going over it with you guys. So we'll figure that out together as we go. New collector recipe and unlock changed. New now unlocks with woven web and requires woven web to build. So now, instead of just going out and getting splats of spider web, you're going to have to weave it, I guess. So we'll see how that works together. Again, this is going to be us working together with this. It might be spread over several videos. I apologize. You guys know I like to stick to roughly about a minute, 2-minute videos. These dev notes are new. I was told to cover them because they should help you guys more, and I do love to help you guys, so this is my way of trying to figure out how to go over it. Crafting. Smoothies have been replaced with beefy smoothies. We already know that. Double the healing power of normal smoothies. I mean, they kind of already did that, but we know that still. Same bonus status effects as normal smoothies. Okay, so I'm guessing that means like you can't stack like workers comp with beefy workers comp. We'll have to see. Require the same flavor as ingredients as normal smoothies, so that's what I was saying. Mushrooms, you gotta have 3 mushrooms maybe together. Use muscle sprout as a base instead of grub loop. So now I'm wondering if that means we can take the muscle sprout and it means that we are using less materials to make smoothies. So instead of making 2 smoothies, or two smoothies, or making 2 smoothies, taking those 2 smoothies and making it with a muscle sprout, it sounds like what you can do now is you can go from, in the very beginning, go muscle sprout, ingredients, boom. No more wasting ingredients, hopefully. That would be, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be fantastic. It would eliminate so much time we have to do this. Optimization, improve performance of games with larger bases, like mine. Like I'm sure you guys know Smitty. He's got huge bases and it's incredible. I think I read somewhere he was saying that he has some trouble. He has to load different worlds for different bases. Kind of help people like him, especially like Mike and Rudar. Pretty cool, because they have these insanely cool bases. Improve performance of games that have a large storage baskets or chest with set icons. So again, like you got Rudar with his little storage building. You got my building where I have this giant wall of chest. It's going to help your game work a little bit better. Hopefully cause your friends to stop crashing as much, as well as yourself. Added a handful of CPU optimizations added. So in other words, it's going to help your computer handle everything a little easier. But other bigger content creators than me have discussed that, like, hey, how to make your CPU better, run better with grounded. This will help. One of the big things that I'm noticing here, though, creatures. Oh, right here. Bees now drop pollen in the world. We've been looking for that Shinobi sneeze, and now it should be coming back because we're going to get pollen finally. They now drop it in the world as well as collecting it on their legs when they're pollinating flowers. So we should have multiple ways to find Shinobi sneeze stuff. Now we can find pollen, so we can make that. Right here, I'll just leave it up here for a second. We have all the bug fixes and platforms. I don't really want to go over and read this because I feel like I've kind of stated my welcome on doing a patch notes video. These are just some general fixes. It's my first time doing patch notes and covering patch notes with you guys. I don't know how you feel about the camera. I know it's a little high. It's just to kind of, keep it going. I really appreciate you guys showing up. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hey, send me a shout out, comment, like, say, hey Dino, maybe you should do this. I have a Facebook page now. I have a Discord. Whatever you want to do, more than welcome to get a hold of me. If you want to join me for some games, let me know, man. I am pumped and ready to go. If you're in the Grounded Discord, go in the Grounded Discord and say, hey, Dino, you want to play it? Come on in, or I'll come to your world. I don't care. I'm here to have fun like you guys. But anyways, if you guys like what you're watching, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. And I will catch you all in the next video. Stay classy, dudes and dudettes.